Every year, technology becomes more and more advanced. From increases in the power and efficiency of computers, to the faster and cheaper manufacturing of lighter and stronger metals. These advances certainly have their place in the lives of ordinary people, but they also have military applications, particularly in the forms of drones, UAVs, ROVs, and robots. Now, the types of drones and UAVs that cause the most controversy are not those you might find in your local hobby store. Again, the types of drones and UAVs that cause the most controversy are not those you might find in the local hobby store. Mainly because the drones and UAVs of the military carry weapons. This is why the implementation of drones and robots into the military meets resistance. Many opponents of military drone use argue that it is ethically irresponsible to give a machine the power to take a human life. I believe that the benefits of robots and UAVs and drones in the military far outweigh the risk by ultimately keeping the lives of soldiers safe, as well as being overall a more efficient and effective means of warfare. Most objections to the use of military robots will target UAVs, specifically the Predator and Reaper unmanned aircrafts. Many will claim that the operation of these devices resembles too closely to a simulation or a computer or video game, arguing that this dehumanizes the targets and that it is therefore unethical to use UAVs as a means of warfare. Those who argue this argue that somehow the distance between the operator and the target factors into the ethics of warfare. Then, wouldn't the same argument be used against rifles? Might you say that a sword is more ethical than a gun because the user is closer to the target? Or a knife more ethical than a sword? If not, then at what specific distance between opponents is the threshold between ethical and unethical warfare? Some might say that it is the simple fact that the drone operators never see their targets with their own eyes that makes their use unethical. But the same can be said about manned aircrafts. There is no window on the bottom of most jets. Gunners or pilots of manned aircrafts must still rely on sensors and imaging equipment just like UAVs. For these reasons, I believe that those who argue against drone use are simply arguing against warfare in general. While this is certainly a noble cause, it is no argument against the use of UAVs specifically. And just a side note, this is no RoboCop Terminator argument. As far as today's technology goes, all drones are human influenced. Every time a UAV fires, it is because a human has decided to make it do so. Although this type of argument may be valid in the near future, it currently is not. For the reasons previously stated, the use of military robots has gained an unfortunate stigma. This distracts from some of the most valuable applications of military robots. These applications help to directly keep the lives of their operators and many others safe. Explosive ordnance disposal robots are used to look for and destroy improvised explosive devices. Watch. Fortunately, in this case, these soldiers were able to use a robot to destroy the device. In this instance, another robot was even used to retrieve the damaged robot. Without these robots, it would have been much more difficult to dispose of these explosives. What about the increases in efficiency of military operations that I had mentioned before? Robots specifically designed to carry equipment? Self-driving trucks? Easily deployable surveillance? I believe it is the duty of any nation participating in conflict, present or future, to keep the lives of their soldiers safe. I believe, for that purpose, robots have a place on the battlefield.